Hey everyone, this is the Music Otaku. I am the nerd whose life is all about music. And I am back again with another review, but not just any review. I am finally doing another album review. Yes, I have finally completed reviewing a full album, and I'm here to talk about it. Which album am I going to review? Well, I'm doing a follow-up on Jonathan McReynolds and going to review his second studio album, Life Music, Stage 2. I have already discussed and did a track review on one of the hit singles that he released called The Way That You Love Me. If you are curious about it and would like to see that review, I have the link to that review in the description box, but I will hopefully have the link for it somewhere here on the screen. So, without further ado, let's do this. So, I must say that number one, I did have a few expectations before I initially listened to the full album. As a matter of fact, Mr. McReynolds already gave me a little hint and a little teaser of what to expect and what might be on his album. After all, as I've mentioned before in the other review on him, that he has released several other singles out and they have been played on the radio. I have heard several singles on Kirk Franklin's The Praise radio station, so I could already kind of expect what he might be about and what his style is all about. And one of the few things that I did expect to be on here is, frankly, some very deep and inspirational lyrics. Another thing that I did expect on this album was for him to have fun, have a few tunes that were sort of upbeat, and that would also appeal to people of my generation as well as the younger generation. And were my expectations proving correct? Yes, they were. So, let's go ahead and talk about the production. So, what do I think about the album? I can tell you right now, I enjoyed the production on this album. I think the production is really solid. It's more than just decent, it's really solid and really complements his style. There weren't too many features on this album. At most, there were three features, and I'm not complaining. I really am. I'm not complaining. I actually appreciate that. To me, that means he's really ready to stand on his own. The features that are on this album, I feel like he and the producers made a very good decision on the features that are on here. Like on Hole, he has India Irie. And I found it interesting because on that track, when I'm listening to the intro for the track, I already have a sense that India Irie would be singing something like this. And sure enough, she is on this track, and it was an interesting experience listening to the two of them sing. Another feature that was on here is Christian rapper Derek Minor, Stay High. That was a very interesting track, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. To be honest, I hardly know Derek Minor, but listening to this track and seeing how much fun they obviously had on this track, I actually want to check him out and check more of Derek Minor's music out. And then you have the very last collab that he has with a featured artist. It's Mr. McReynolds and another Christian music artist by the name of Corey Barksdale. I have no idea who he is. I want to say that I know of him, but to be honest, I No, I don't. Again, the production was solid and decent, and I like the way that the album moved. This album, it flowed nicely. You had a nice mixture of upbeat and danceable songs, but you also had those laid back and intimate tracks on here. And I really enjoyed that, and I loved how there seemed to be consideration, again, as a whole, the album as a whole, as well as each and every individual track, of what instruments and what effects and how are we going to arrange this to really fully have the audience and have the listeners really tune in and not only receive the message, but to experience it, to have this sort of spiritual experience on the album while listening to the album. There seems to be several instruments that are really commonly used throughout this album. There's of course an acoustic guitar as well as an electric guitar or a bass guitar. There's definitely the piano and the organ on this album, and I love how there were other percussive instruments besides the drums that were used. There was also a tambourine used on there, wind chimes, and then of course the strings. And then of course there were the strings. I do love how, I have to say though, it's not just the production side of the album that I enjoyed. I also enjoyed the lyrics. I actually felt like he was writing from experience, but he also wanted to be conscious of how he presented it, how he presented the message, and how well he was going to follow through with the purpose of this album, which again is to be about life music. This is music about life. This is about the ups and the downs. And I love how he makes sure that it's not preachy in the lyrics, but they're very genuine, and they do uplift you, they do encourage you, and they do remind you of who your God is, and whom will lift your head up and will inspire you and open doors for you more so than any man or woman could ever do. The tracks that on this album, which I believe were very moving for me, and my favorite lyric-wise, are Got My Love, Full Attention, Pressure, Maintain, and The Way That You Love Me. So it is basically 5 of these tracks that really moved me lyric-wise. They seem to have moved me into this place whereby I'm just not only thinking back on my life and experiences and the troubles that I've gone through, but also am just to a place of thanksgiving, giving thanks to God, and just praising Him, and really appreciating how God is in my life. So, what is my rating for this album? I have to admit, I am going to give it a definite 9 out of 10. For the most part, I enjoyed the album, and not just the production alone, but also the lyrics. But I have to say that I kind of shaved off points only for Gotta Have You. I didn't hate the track, but at the same time, it wasn't for me. I can tell that much. That song was not for me. I didn't really connect fully to Gotta Have You. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed this album, and I hope you did as well. If you have, let me know in the comments section below, okay? Also, let me know, what other Christian music artists are you listening to? And by that, I don't just mean gospel. Are you listening to any Christian rock, Christian rap music artists? If so, let me know, okay? You know, because I wanna check them out too. I wanna find out what's good, okay? So, comment, like, subscribe, and follow, and I will see you all later. This is the Music Otaku. Have a blessed day, and peace.